Okay, so welcome to another Northern Kiwi tutorial. This one is on game development, and so what we're going to be looking at here is the process of basically building your own game from scratch. This tutorial will assume you actually sort of come up with a concept that you want to produce, and we'll go through the different stages that are involved in planning, building, training yourself up on the different skills you need and how to identify these requirements. Now, what we've made the assumption is always got to ask this question: what do I have to do? So basically, I want to make a game. I've assumed that, as I said before, I've assumed I already know what I want to make. In my case, it's going to be a little example like Bejeweled, so I need to go and do a bit of research about what similar sorts of games are. And what we have is, if I go onto my Bejeweled games, I've got a little example here. Now I need to work out, what is it, what makes it good. Okay, it's simple. Okay, this one is a click and rotate rather than there's no sort of drag involved. But the key logic behind the game is, match 3 in a row. Now, I'm okay enough with the sort of logic and the ideas, but I don't know exactly how to do it, and I want to make my game in Unity, which is a 3D modeling stuff. I've never used Unity before, so it's going to be a whole new learning experience. So, what do I have to do? Always need to ask yourself that question at all stages of the project. But the first key thing is we need to work out what exactly we need to do. And what we have, excuse my writing because this is a little tablet and my writing is absolutely atrocious. So, first task. Okay, so I'm thinking. Okay, I need to make it. Okay, seems fairly obvious, but needs to do that. And I've set myself another goal, is using Unity. And I need to learn how to do that. Okay, so I need to make the game. I need to also draw the graphics. Ooh, what's going on there? Stupid pen. Need to draw the graphics. I also need to test it. Often overlooked, testing it. And then I need to do the logic. And that basically is, the matching 3. Things like points. Okay, so the logic, matching 3, doing the points, so we've got that. Making the game. Then Unity. Okay, I also need to, storyboard it. So I know what exactly I'm going to do. Strip of the plan. And that storyboard of the plan might involve a few other bits and pieces. Excuse me. So, that plan, might have, the different screens. Like the title screen, the win screen, the game screen, losing, model save instructions. Okay, so I've got my key things there. Now, okay, my graphics, I can probably break that down into a few things. I might need to make my jewels. And then backgrounds as well. And I might need to also think about my next I'm going to have okay, oh, and also something else for the logic, you might have the score. So I've got, a bunch of my sort of basics here, what I need to do. I've got my main plan, I've got these different screens. There's a few other little things which you might want to have. Might want to have some flowcharts. So flowcharts of the game, so that's showing, what's happening where. So if we're going from, say, title screen to game to lose, and then that takes us back to the title, and so that's just about basic screens. But then inside this game process we'd have a whole bunch of extra ones, which is do all the logic. So that links in with the logic. So this is the flowcharts of the game, is explaining what's actually going to happen. Okay, so that's our main sort of focus of the different parts that are actually going to be put together with our game. And then what we need to do is go on, so we've got these tasks, now what do we need to do? First thing I need to do is think of a sensible order that I can attempt all these tasks, what I'm going to do, why, how long, think about how long each task is going to take. All those tasks, some are going to be quick, some are going to be longer. If I'm looking at, building something in Unity, which I've never used before, obviously that learn Unity is going to be really, really important, and it's going to take a lot of time because it's something which I don't know how to do. So that's probably going to be me going off, looking at tutorials, watching videos, and then a bit of trial and error to actually just be able to make what I want to do. And I'm going to look at, see if there are any tasks that I can't sort of start until another one is finished. Obviously that is pretty true. I can't exactly make it if I don't know how to use Unity. So there's my key one, and I need to basically plan out what everything's going to be. I need to design these graphics before I go and do the final things, but I can actually make the shapes. I can't test it until my product's complete. Well, do finish testing until it's complete, but I can test all the different components as I'm building it. So these are all different steps that I need to go through. This is called critical path analysis. What we're looking at is what can I do and in what order. And so what needs to happen first. So my first step is really probably going to be the storyboarding, but we'll look at those bits a little bit later. And so anything I don't have no idea how to do. So I've mentioned I have no idea how to use Unity, so that's going to be something I need to do. If I hadn't actually identified that, then I actually have to include that on it. I've talked a little bit about the graphics, but I'm not sure how graphics work with Unity, so I might need to learn some new sort of skills there. I might need to basically go back and touch up on a few little graphic editing techniques that I know somewhere else. And if there is something that you don't know how to do, add a new task in. These task lists are by no means the entire thing. And then what resources do I need? This is software, hardware, so I need a computer, I might want a tablet, I might need a PC, obviously need the software, I need to make sure it runs on that. If I'm going to be building for mobile devices, I might need Android phones, iOS phones that I can export to. If I'm just going for PC or web, then there's not much else I probably need. And that's going to conclude us for this little part. I hope you enjoyed this first little tutorial. Next tutorial was what we'll be looking at is actually going in and taking those tasks and putting them in a semblance of order.